Hello, it is the 9th of August today and it's been about a month since I last did a full allotment update. Quite a bit has changed in that month. We've had a lot of rain, but we've also had quite a bit of heat as well, so the weeds are loving it, but so are the flowers and the veg. The gladioli have started to open here and they are absolutely beautiful. I've already took some cuttings and took them home and put them in a vase, but there's quite a lot to see, so let's go and have a look. So quite a lot of the flower patch needs to be deadheaded. Quite a lot of the daisies have started to die off a little bit. But the lilies are just beautiful. These bulbs are a few years old now. I mean, look at that. These bulbs are a few years old now. But year after year, they do not disappoint. They are also starting to die back a little bit now, but I will hang on to them for as long as possible because lilies are my absolute favourite. Same with the hot pokers here. We'll cut those back because someone was telling me that if you cut them back in the summer, they might come back and flower again in the autumn. So I'll get those cut back today. I'm going to deadhead some of the daisies, deadhead some of these alliums. Not missing out the gladioli though. These have just started to flower as well. This one's been open a little bit longer than these ones that are just starting to open here. And even from when they're just starting to open, they are absolutely beautiful. I really love gladioli. We have lamb's lug down here. The bees are still loving it. It definitely has gone a little bit crazy. Probably needs a really good cut back as well in the autumn. But it's still got the last little bits of flowers on there, so I'll leave it for now, and the bees do really love it. So that's of course another reason to leave it. Of course, we made the new wood chip paths that lead quite nicely up between the flower patch and the herbs. Bit of a mix match put together, just random bricks and things that were on the plot, but I've got quite a well established rosemary bush here. We have different varieties of mint all in pots, just to kind of keep it contained. I will show you some mint that we don't have in pots that's just went absolutely crazy over to the right of me, but we've got some different varieties here: lemon mint, ginger mint, peppermint, strawberries and cream mint. So they smell amazing as well. Got a lavender plant here, also smells amazing, and another lavender bush here that has been in for quite a while now as well. Maybe 2 or 3 years. Planted this in when it was quite small, and it's just really taken hold of the area, so we'll cut this right back in the autumn as well. I would have liked to take some of the flowers and dry them, but I think I might have missed that opportunity, but maybe I'll pick some of these today and take them home and dry them out. And this is the mint that I was talking about that has gone a little bit rogue. So there is so much of it just kind of taking over this entire area here. It is a bit of a forgotten about corner, so not too bad to have it running riot, but I'm gonna pick some of this today and gonna make some cocktails with some cucumber melons that I've got in the freezer and put used to it before we possibly take the majority of this out and utilize the space a little bit better. And just at the entrance to the polytunnel we have our big tree, which has made a miraculous recovery. This was from B&Q. I think it was £9.99 in a sale, it was £10, and when we got it we put it into this quite big pot. I'm not sure how many litres it is exactly, maybe 50 or 60, and it dropped all of its leaves and to be honest, I thought it had died. However, it's come back, it's green, it has new growth, so I'm pleased we left it for a few more weeks and give it a little chance to come back. I know Jessie Plot 37 has a prolifically massive fig tree, and I think she might have just got a few figs off it this year. I think I saw her and her mum sharing one of the figs that they harvested off it, so I feel like we might have a long way to go before we are eating any figs off this plant. But I have faith in this Geordie fig, and we'll see if it manages to survive. Next to the fig we have all of our Christmas potatoes. I've just given them a bit of an emergency water, to be honest, because they're looking a little bit sorry for themselves. I've actually kind of got out of the routine of watering other than in the polytunnel because of the amount of rain that we've had throughout July, and then no rain for 3 or 4 days, and I forgot that I will need to come up here and water. The potatoes will be fine though, they just look a little bit droopy on the foliage at the moment, but they'll make a comeback now they've had a good water. But these have been topped up pretty much right at the top. These are a Charlotte variety, and we should be harvesting these October, November time, ready to store them for Christmas. Have a few empty beds out the front of the polytunnel at the moment, just from things being harvested, and haven't got around to putting anything back in them yet. But the leeks are in one of them, and these are the leeks that Tony C. Smith sent me, and they've come on quite a lot since I popped them in here. They are small pencil size at the moment, but they seem to be growing quite nicely in here, and they will probably stay in here until well into next year. Maybe February time I'll hopefully be getting a harvest off some of these. We have strawberries all the way along at the back there and in the 2 beds at the front. This bed still has carrots and some spring onions in. To be honest, I'm probably going to harvest all of these today. Not quite sure what is left in here. I think we'll almost cherry pick the best of them. But I'm going to get this bed cleared. Hopefully we might get some carrots and some spring onions from here. I can definitely see some decent spring onions, which is good. These are Paris de Market variety, I believe. They are a round ball variety. But the carrots, who knows what kind of carrots will be left in here. We had quite a good harvest. When I say good harvest, probably the best harvest we've ever had of carrots this year. I can just see one poking through there, so we'll see what we get when I clear the bed. Not bad at all. Got some pretty good carrots harvested there, some that I won't make at home, however, being eaten and nibbled at by slugs and things, so I'll sort through them when I'm finished at the plot. But I've decided that while I am showing you around the allotment today, I will try and harvest some bits and bobs so that all of the veg for dinner is from the allotment. I absolutely love that this time of year, and I think we'll probably be able to do it. I think we've got quite a decent variety of things growing at the minute that we'll be able to have quite a substantial meal from here at the moment, which is exciting. So let's crack on. This bed at the front near the other polytunnel has our sweet corn in, and the beans climbing up it. The beans have done pretty well. We've managed to harvest some beans already. The corn, however, is pretty poor this year. In years previous, I've actually got quite decent cobs off sweet corn. This is a sweet northern variety as well, so I had hoped that it would provide us with some decent harvests. But there is still time for corn. Last year I think we were still harvesting corn until October time. It doesn't seem to have any sort of tassels or anything forming yet, but I'm not going to lose hope. It's still the middle of the season really, but we will be getting some more beans off here as well. Lovely little flowers on them there, and they're definitely doing what we wanted them to do, which was to use the corn to climb up. So at least that has been a success. We have our plum tree here as well. This is a Victoria plum. We have a damson down the other side, and as usual it seems like we're going to get quite a lot of plums this year, all the way to the top there. And on this side of the plot we have some beautiful flowers just starting to appear. Some beautiful calendula at the back there, some cosmos, straw flowers, sunflowers, borage, coleus down here, which is beautiful foliage. Really bright pinks in the middle to the almost a luminous green on the edges. Some lupin seedlings here that have been grown from seed. Some beautiful, can't actually remember the name of these, and they're probably the prettiest flowers in this whole bed. They have almost like succulent feeling leaves. If anyone remembers the name of these, let us know. I might do that cool thing on the iPhone where you take a photo of it and it does the plant lookup thing, but if you do know what these are called, let me know, because that flower is quite spectacular, to be honest. So vibrant. We have all of our fruit bushes here in the buckets, just the B&Q painters buckets. We've got raspberries coming and some blueberries here that are ready. I've just been eating these as they've started to ripen. I'm not sure we've ever managed to take a handful of blueberries home, but they are pretty delicious to have as an allotment snack, so I'm not complaining. And these are the calendula that I was on about. These are Art Shades variety, and they are just the most vibrant orange colour. I thought that they were going to be red when they were in bud before they all opened, but I think they're just such a bright, beautiful coloured orange that they just look red before they open. But they're just adding so much colour to this side of the plot, and they're in here with the fennel. These should probably be flowering until October or November. They're quite hardy plants. I will keep deadheading them to encourage them to keep flowering, but I absolutely love them. They're in here with some dwarf French beans as well, yellow dwarf French beans, which were direct sown straight into this bed. Have quite a lot of beans on here. Some might be ready to harvest today. Can't quite feel the beans through the pods yet though, which is, I believe, the telltale sign that they are ready to harvest. So I'll give them a little bit longer. You've still probably got time to get another crop off dwarf French beans. They are really, really quick growing, so if you want to direct sow them, you can do that until the end of the month probably. In this bed with the calendula, I do have 2 fennel plants, and I wasn't sure when to harvest them. Someone told me that they were definitely ready to harvest now, which was maybe a week or so ago, to be honest. So I'm going to harvest them today. It hasn't quite gone to flower yet, but I'm not sure if it might have passed its best by now. You can eat the tops of them as well, which is good. So even if the actual bulb bit at the bottom isn't great, I will still make use of the tops. But let's harvest it, and hopefully it might make it onto the dinner plate this evening. I was maybe a little bit optimistic thinking that these would fit into my cute little harvesting basket, but I'm quite pleased with them. I'm not exactly sure what to do with them. I've looked at a few recipes online which I might try. A sweet potato and fennel curry definitely stood out, but it's a decent size. There's lots of foliage on it, so I'm sure I will make use of it somehow. I do, however, need my basket for this. So this is a random tomato plant that I think might have somehow self-seeded here, and it's outdoors with ripe tomatoes on. So these will be going in tonight's dinner. I have grown tomato plants outside before. Gardener's Delight variety is usually a good one for the northeast. It's quite a hardy tomato, but usually the fruit don't ripen, and I harvest them green and either ripen them at home or make green tomato chutney. So to have sun gold tomatoes ripen outside is quite a new thing for me. And under the netting we have the scarlet kale, which almost could be ornamental in my opinion. Got quite a few plants of this in here, maybe 6 or 7, 9 actually, 9 scarlet kale plants in here. These are really hardy, obviously will be fine outside over winter. We'll just keep harvesting them as the winter goes on. I'm gonna harvest some of these today, take these home. They make really great kale chips or crisps with a bit of salt, and just popped into the oven. But I just really love this variety. We've got all of our Romanesco in here, which seems to be growing quite nicely. We have a courgette here that's from Hampton that hasn't really done much, unfortunately. A few flowers on it there. We'll see how it goes, see if we get a courgette off it. But this is my favourite thing in this bed, and these are my straw flowers. So I grew these from seed for the first time this year, and I really wanted to cut them to have in little bouquets in the house. They are a mixed variety. We've got some yellow, some red, some white there, which are really beautiful, and you can hear that they literally dry on the plant. They haven't quite opened up yet, but when they do, they're absolutely beautiful. Got our curly dwarf kale in here as well, with some more calendula, which just add lovely bits of colour to the plot. We'll harvest some of this as well. Again, got quite a few plants of this, and it'll be really great to have in the allotment over winter. It's really hardy kale. Last year we had loads of snow and the kale was actually frozen and then defrosted, and we kept picking it and it survived and was lovely. So go kale. Down in this bed we have the cabbage that I planted in a few weeks ago. They've grown quite slowly, to be honest. They are getting a little bit decimated by caterpillars and things, but I think they will be fine. No mushrooms popping up yet, no mycelium that I can see on the soil. It is quite dry, so I'll probably give them a water before I go today. But there are some exciting mushrooms that I want to show you in the polytunnel. So in the jungle that is our polytunnel right now, there is something exciting that I want to show you. And in some old laundry baskets we have put some straw with inoculated blue oyster mushrooms in, and the mycelium has started to take hold, and you can really start to see the work that it is doing. Let us show you, because I'm very excited. So these are the laundry baskets that I am talking about. In here we have straw which has been inoculated with blue oyster mushroom spawn and a layer of wood chips on the top. They're in the polytunnel because I didn't want them to get saturated with the rain that we were having before the mycelium could essentially take hold on the straw and start to grow. The ones underneath here have really started to work. You can really see almost a spider web like mycelium growing on the top there. And the idea is that hopefully we will have blue oyster mushrooms popping out of all of the sides here, all of the holes, and at the top, if all goes to plan. But I'll show you what I mean when I say the mycelium is really starting to grow on the straw. And the white stuff that you can see on top of the straw here, that is the mycelium starting to take hold. So hopefully it'll keep going the way that it is, all the way into the bottom of the straw, so that we'll have mushrooms popping out of here as well. But fingers crossed we'll have mushrooms popping up here, over here, over there. We'll see. I have admittedly shared quite a lot from the polytunnel recently, but that is just because it is growing prolifically in here. The cucumbers, the tomatoes are ready to be picked, quite a lot of them, which I'm going to do today. There's peppers, there's chilies. It is honestly my favourite place at the allotment, is being in this polytunnel. We have all of the Hampton Court tomatoes here, the Black Star varieties, the bigger Rose Crush ones, which are hidden in there amongst the foliage. All of our peppers are down here. A lot of them are starting to actually ripen up now as well. These are purple jalapenos. These are just starting to ripen. And there's a lot of them on this plant, which is great news for me because I love jalapenos. We've got a lot of tomatoes down here that are ready. Some of the crushed heart varieties, the Tigerella, Rosella Jumbo. So much going on in here. I've talked about these tomatoes quite a lot this season, and that is because these are a variety that I've really wanted to try and grow for quite a while now. And this is a crushed heart variety. It's from Tomato Revolution. They didn't send me them or anything, I bought them, and wow, I absolutely love them. I don't know why I didn't buy them sooner. I've watched them for years and wanted to give them a go growing them. This one is ripe now. I've waited really patiently. I've harvested 3 off the plant in total. I have another crushed heart variety there that looks like it's just starting to ripen up as well. But wow, I will definitely be growing these next year. I'm not sure I've ever loved a tomato so much. That's me for today. I'm pretty happy with the little harvest that I've got. It'll definitely go towards a nice dinner. Managed to deadhead a lot of the flowers as well, the daisies and the red hot pokers and things, so we'll see if they come back in the autumn. But thank you for watching, and if you enjoy, do the things, but I'll hopefully see you very soon.